one of our partners who's presenting with
Gerard,
thank you. If you guys have any questions, we've got probably, what, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30? Yeah, cool. And then Cam's going to go right after that. If you need anything, let me know. I know it's we don't want to run it too late tonight, but if you have to use the restroom, just pop out. Hopefully you've got enough room. You're on?
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'll take your seat while you're up there. Do you need any music?
Okay. Yeah, cue the music. So good evening everyone, thanks for braving the weather and coming out. Hopefully we can be as energetic as tomorrow. I don't know, we're only devs, so we'll see. So a bit about me, my name's Gerard Beckerleg, a solution architect at Orchard. I class myself as technology agnostic because I have to work across all platforms, everything from PHP, Drupal to .NET to AEM to goodness knows what else. So I put myself on the dark side because my partner here is probably shining the light for you Jedis. He's our lead AEM developer, ambient track lead and Q2 top contributor for Adobe AEM worldwide. A little bit about our company Orchard. So we are Australia's largest digital...
No, keep talking, I'm just going to take the mic.
Our largest independent digital agency. So before I joined Orchard, I was from a very enterprise sort of background, and I always thought digital agencies were all about just getting WordPress sites out and bang, 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 bang. Whereas Orchard actually sits in a particular space because we do a lot of work for enterprise, but we also have the real cutting edge front end skills as well. So it's quite a niche market that we're in. We've got we're working with enterprise customers, but we're doing all the really top end front end stuff. Okay, so why we're here then? So the challenge. So at Orchard we have a particularly big challenge when it comes to AEM because we work across a lot of different technologies, and we have a front end team that literally they're on the bleeding edge. They've got all the latest tools, all the latest frameworks, and they work in a particular way. So they can move across projects really easily until it comes to AEM. So they can work really easily in Drupal, really easily in .NET, really easily in their basic JavaScript, and then they hit AEM, and all of a sudden it's just a nightmare. So people like Tuhin have to get involved and help them become sort of unstuck. So that's a big challenge that we have using AEM. And it's also a bit to do with the fact that they don't understand it, they don't know what they're looking at, and also that they don't feel familiar with it. So that's one of the problems we have. The other problem that we have is testing the minified JavaScript. So before we go to production, because we use things like require.js, and it has to pull all the JavaScript dependencies in and then minify it, we have problems around that. So sometimes when things go to production, the actual minified JavaScript doesn't work properly and things like that. So we have all these types of problems. The other thing that we have an issue with is sprint zero. So to go from having an empty AEM project to something that our front-end guys can jump into and start working with, it's quite a lengthy time compared to other solutions like your .NET solutions and Drupal and things like that. So that's a challenge we have. So the idea, so this is dangerous, me having ideas, but because I work across lots of different technologies, I can see something in one area and think, oh, that's pretty cool. That would be really cool if AEM had that. So the idea that I was looking at is the F5 experience in Visual Studio. So just hands up anyone who knows what the F5 experience is in Visual Studio. 1.5, 2.5, okay. So good job, I prepared some slides. So what it is, so when you're in Visual Studio, if you want to do a new web app, you can go File, New Web App, and then you provide a name for your web app. Then you get presented with a lot of options. So for example, it says what type of app you want, which dependencies you want to involve in, whether you want unit tests, and then finally if you want any security. So it's going to pull in all these different things to your project, and then using the name that you provided, it will then give you a solution with the name that you provided, and away you go. The other thing that it also gives you that's quite cool is this switch between debug and release mode. So for our front-end guys, what we do is we wire those up to the minified and non-minified versions. So when they're doing their work, they can quickly switch between and test things and make sure it's working properly. And then finally, this is where the F5 experience comes from. So once you've done that, which literally takes 2 seconds, you press F5, a web server gets started up, and away you go, you're away to start working. So this looks pretty basic. This is just the basic bootstrap template. But for our front-end guys, this is the holy grail because all of our frameworks and all of our libraries are built on top of this bootstrap. So this is almost like their ground zero. So from here they can do some really, really wonderful things by pulling in all our libraries and getting going. So then I got thinking, I thought, okay, well, wouldn't it be really great if we could take that scaffolding from the F5 experience and then we could take our existing framework and workflow from our front-end guys and bake those two together. And that was the idea I had. And then when we had some downtime between projects, I asked Tuhin to have a look and he came up with this thing, Lazybones. So hands up who's heard of Lazybones? Okay, keep your hands up if you've used it. Okay, so doing okay, all right. So what Lazybones is it's a tool to allow you to create a project structure for any framework. So the concept of Lazybones is it's similar to Maven and similar to Yeoman in it allows you to quickly scaffold projects based from a template. So a little example of what you do is you have a Lazybones config plus a base template. Then you use the Lazybones exe, and at runtime you pass in some variables, and based on the variables that you pass in and your config and your file, it will just spit out a project for you. So that's it in a nutshell. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a little demo. So here we go, for Tuhin. So I was nervous before I came that I was going to forget things and I was going to ramble, and me and Tuhin ramble a lot. So, so I wrote down a script. So this is going to be quite embarrassing now. So you'll have to bear with us while we go through this really embarrassing script. Okay, so Tuhin. All right. Let's get on with the demo, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, so do you have AEM running?
Yeah, I have AEM running
Okay.
for saving time. So
Okay.
you can see like this is our AEM site admin and this is the CRXD.
And is that a
this
vanilla?
is empty. This is the vanilla instance.
Okay,
nothing
cool.
in it.
Okay, so do you have Lazybones installed?
Yeah, I have Lazybones installed. I have Lazybones installed in my machine and the path for that set. Also.
So you had to set the path. So
Yes,
you downloaded
yes.
it and
Download and
set
set
the
the
path
path.
to
Yeah,
the EXE.
that's
All
all.
right, cool.
All done.
Okay, so as you know, mate, we've just won a pitch for Acme Corporation. We want to get started adding features to the front end, and the guys want to start working straight away. Have you cloned the latest version of the Orchard template?
Yeah, that's done and it's present in this folder. So you can see this is the template that we are going to use.
Okay, so what's that zip file?
Yeah, it's zip file is actually the template that has the instructions for scaffolding the project for us.
So in that previous slide, this is the config plus
Yes, config
the
plus base
template.
template.
template together, all in a zip file.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now what?
So we need to point this template to the we need to use Lazybones to point at this template.
Okay, show me.
So yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this command prompt.
Can you make that a bit bigger? Can you all see that? No, can you make it bigger? Really
Okay.
big. I need to change the font.
Give me a sec. 70 please.
Yeah, do that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it-
there you
is
go.
it visible?
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool.
Alright.
So I'm going to scaffold the project using this. So first we need to set the template path. I do not want to type this, I'm very lazy. So yeah. So that's done.
So what's that set templates mapping?
So like we are setting a mapping with a variable name after, so that we do not need to type the whole project path every time and again.
So you're just saving time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Lazy.
Okay. Okay. So now what?
Now we're going to create the actual project using the Lazybones command.
Okay.
So let me just type that. Okay, and last we need to mention the path where we are going to create the project. So,
Okay. So what's that asking you now?
so it's asking me about the project name, the name of the project that we're going to give. I'm going to give it with the client name, Acme.
Okay.
So inside,
And what's this saying now?
this saying that what's the name of the folder that should be there inside the apps folder
Okay.
of the project structure. So I'm going to keep it same.
Okay.
So I can just press return.
Okay.
And same with the content. What the name should be inside the content folder.
So back in my diagram, this is the variables that are coming in on the command line.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
no, great.
So
Okay.
I'm going to click OK, and my project is created.
So what's happened?
Okay, let me show you.
That's great.
So inside our C folder, let's refresh it, and we can see our Acme project is created. This is a basic AEM template folder structure for any project. And if we go inside bundle, we can see there. Let's see what's there. So if you can see, the name is Acme.
Okay, so it's dynamically changed the name for what you typed in.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. And if we go in any of the files inside that, all the stuff that is there, that's created dynamically. So we can see that it's like the
so it's
names,
injected those variables into all your.
those variables are injected directly into the files.
Okay.
So we do not need to worry about that.
Excellent. Okay, cool. I've lost where I am. Okay, cool. So can I see that in AEM then, please?
No, you misunderstood. We haven't deployed that in AEM till now. We have to deploy the code. We generated the code.
Ah, okay.
Now we have to deploy it.
Okay, show me.
Okay, we have to again type a command. Again, where is it? Okay, yeah.
Get my PLO on me.
Yes, please. You might need a new one. So aren't you glad I brought him in the house?
So I'll just go to the path. And right type.
So that's deploying it with Maven.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. It's hard, this, isn't it?
Yes. Should have taken a drama class.
Actually, I think you guys are doing great. Do you want to present at source?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Actually, it's not finished yet.
So taking a bit of much time than regular one, because the reason I'll tell you later.
Is it our Wi-Fi?
No.
All right. Okay.
It's deployed now.
Okay. So that's great. So show me something then.
Okay. Let me go back to my apps folder, and if I refresh
Can
it.
you make this bigger? I can't see anything.
Okay, I can.
You should be able to, yeah. There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
So you can see this is generated, and I have components inside it with these many components. These are page components and templates. Our Java files are deployed, configurations, everything is set.
Okay. And did that pull in any dependencies as well?
Yes. That's
Okay.
pulling the ACS Commons as dependency and every other dependency that we need to like deploy and
Okay.
compile the Java code. Yes.
Okay. So what about the content?
So we are actually deploying some demo content to work with. So if I go inside the content folder, let me refresh that once. Okay. Yeah, we have Acme project now. So if I double click the home
Can I
page,
see that?
there you go.
Oh,
That's
okay.
too big. Let me just a sec.
So again, this probably doesn't look like much to you guys. Oh, great, Bootstrap template. But what's going on under the covers here and the framework that we have underneath for our front end guys, they are just going to be so happy with this because this is, as I said, this is their foundation. They're just going to build on top of. They don't have to worry about anything. They let the front end guys worry about what they do, which is JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and we'll worry about everything else. So what are we up to next? So our front end guys come to me and he wants to add some custom JavaScript and include one of his libraries. How does he do it?
He would do it as the way he do it in the other projects. He do not have to worry about anything. So
Okay.
just let me show how.
Yeah.
So if we go back to here in the CRXT.
Can you make that bigger again?
Maybe I just magnify it.
Okay.
So inside client libs, there's the main client libs folder. So this familiar to you.
Right, okay, so that structure that we have there is what we use inside every single project. So for these guys, once they've found that, they're at home. Everything that they have in there is what they need. So they've got their common JS, which is their required JS, and they know this structure, and they know that when they add things into here, the same things that happen in every other project is going to happen in here. So this is perfect, okay? So what about CSS?
Yeah, CSSs are also there, and it's here. It's taken out of the box by AEM, so yeah.
So it's not important.
It's not. It's like we are using Bootstrap. That's less CSS, and that is supported by AEM out of the box. So we are not doing anything special.
Nothing
No.
special for
Yeah.
CSS. Okay, all right, cool. Okay. So what about, here we go, what about minification then?
Yeah, so for minification, less than CSS, we are using client libs minification, that is out of the box for AEM. And since we are using require.js, we would be like using extra command, a grunt command to minify the require.js so that it pulls all the dependencies that creates a minified total file. So
the client libs don't support this pulling of the
No.
JavaScript.
Client lib is supported with a different functionality, but since our guys are familiar with require.js,
Yeah.
so this is what, and we have integrated grunt in our Maven build, so they do not have to worry about grunt build also.
Whoa, let me stop you there. You've integrated grunt.
Yes.
Wow, that is intense. So is this a specific grunt file for AEM, or is this the same grunt file that we use in every project?
It's a same generic grunt file, package.json, it's a same that we use in every other project.
So if they change their grunt file globally, then they can reuse it in this and they're going to have no problems?
They just need to change that in our project folder, and they would be able to do that. There's no issues with that.
That is amazing.
So if I want to show you that inside the distribution folder,
Yeah.
our files are minified.
Oh, so that's the minified version.
Minified version, that's for the
kicked off
common
by
JS.
grunt.
Yeah, and this is the common JS for require.js, which is non-minified.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's awesome. So how do I switch then when I'm inside AEM and I want to test the difference between the two?
Yeah. We can use run mode for that. By default in publish server, every time our minified files would be loaded, and when we are running author mode, we can switch between the minified file and the actual file based on the run modes. Just we need to pass command like query param WCM
Can you
mode.
show me?
Yeah, sure, I can.
So by default, this will be unminified.
Yeah, this is WCM mode disabled. I've given. Just let me just reload once. I'm not sure what it loaded. Inside. So you can see the dist folder is loaded, and the file is minified.
That's because we've got the WCM mode disabled, and then we change that.
If I change it to enabled,
Yeah.
let me see what is there. So as you can see, scripts folder is loaded and unminified versions of the JS is loaded. So
That's a game changer. All right. So what about error handling?
We are using ACS Commons error handling feature.
Yeah.
So it would allow us to show the stack trace in the development mode and the user-friendly error in the production mode.
Right. So when I'm in dev mode, I can see the complex error, and then when I switch to production, it's hidden.
Yes.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay. All right. So it says admin in the top corner. What's that about?
It's nothing. We just showing the logged in user ID. That's nothing special.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. And what about? Move that. What about that search over there? What does that do?
Search is AEM site search. It does a full text search on the AEM site, and it uses Lucene, the AEM out of the box Lucene with default indexes and
so that works.
Yeah, that works.
Can I see it?
Yeah, definitely. Let me just yeah. Is it visible, everyone?
Yeah.
So let me just type acme. Okay, that's the search result that we have got.
You've got an internal server error.
Where? Okay.
Oh, that's an actual. Oh, it's picked up the error page. Okay.
Where? Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's Amy. I need to type acme.
So it's picking up everything in the whole site.
No,
Okay.
no, I just clicked by by
Okay.
mistake, so that's it gone to the website.
So you mentioned something about facets. I don't see any facets.
Yes, in order to have the facets showing in your search,
Yeah.
I need to add some tags or some things based on what the facet would be shown.
Okay.
So let me just add a thing quickly. Okay, just let me refresh. Okay. So in my home page, properties, if I add a tag. So, okay, yeah. So again, if I search with acne,
Yeah.
let me see. Yeah.
Ah, you get the facets on the
Yeah.
right hand side.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That is amazing. So literally, like within 30 seconds, we've got a very functional CMS with the search,
Yes.
the user. Is there anything else that we get?
The dynamic navigation you get.
Okay. So what's happening with the navigate? So is that just static? Is
No,
it?
no, it's not static. It's based on the pages that you create inside the home page.
Okay.
So basically we have, basically we have 3 pages now, and if I create another page inside the home page,
Mhm.
that should come in the navigation.
Okay.
Adobe,
Yeah.
they're sponsoring the beer.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make a page for them.
So
And then you refresh, and then
Yeah.
we have the other options. So that's
the
all.
Adobe page is here.
automatic. So that's built off that's the Bootstrap navigation. So our
Yes.
guys can just add their libraries
Yes.
in and change that
Yes,
into.
they have to.
They're gonna
They
be
do not have to worry about anything. They can change on top of that.
Oh, they're going to be so happy with this.
Okay, hope so.
Anything else then?
Apart from everything, on top of this, we have integrated some basic forms so that our guys can build on top of that with backend validation. Just let me show you in a quick.
So these are just some
manner.
example forms for
Yes,
people
yes,
to
yes,
work
yes.
from. Okay.
So we are actually overlaying the default forms that are available with AEM.
With Bootstrap styling over the top.
Yeah, some styling. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
just overlaid them.
Okay.
So if I go inside this is the first few title, element ID, constraint message required. These are familiar. I guess you were familiar with this. And the special about this one is client validation rule. So whatever client validation rule we are adding here, that is actually getting used to do the backend validation. So when we are validating the user inputs in our backend, this validation rule is getting used. So it's very much dynamic in nature.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So for the
really
same, this is a text field. If I say for text field, I have a validation rule for email ID, and I have a validation rule for password,
Yeah.
and I have a different validation rule for like this first name.
So is this form wired up to anything?
Yes, yes. So as we can see that this is email ID password, so it's wired up to creating a user. So if you fill in a data and you type enter, it would create a user in the CRX for you.
So you were saying that in our template
Mm-hmm.
we have search,
Mm-hmm.
navigation,
Mm-hmm.
and user management out of the box.
Yes.
With the Bootstrap styling.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
That's going to save us weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, excellent.
So that's,
Anything else?
Yeah, at this point of time, this is what we got.
Yeah.
I was working on personalization thing, like
Yeah.
showing customized content out of the box also with this template, but I'm not able to accommodate till now. I'm still working on that.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
So probably, I think that's it, is it? Is that the last slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you. So what do you think? Any suggestions? Useful, not useful? Any ways that we could take it forward? Or do you
Just
think we
scrap
should
it.
just scrap it?
Awesome.
Oh, you're happy?
I'm happy.
Okay. Awesome.
Did you guys have any questions? I didn't mean to clap and cut the conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
cheers to man.
I'm getting out of your
AEM
shirt.
6. You know what about new components? Them at all of the old components.
Sorry.
What about the AEM 6?
It's built on top of AEM
Touch UI
6.1.
and stuff,
It's built on top of AEM 6.1.
Yeah, but you showed us like old components and old parties.
It's not like components are not like, just let me show you once.
Mhm.
You have to press
These
escape.
components-
You have to press escape from the presentation.
Ah,
Can you do this in the Touch UI? Or?
Yeah. So it's based on your requirement. So we have the requirement to build on this many things. So we have created these components. So you can use Lazybones and you can use these templates. You can use these components and templates. So this is not something which came out of the box of the Lazybones. This is something we have developed it. So it's up to you whether you wanna optimize
basically
to.
for the new secure AEM instances, you will just create different templates, different components, like touch
No,
optimized.
in Touch UI, I know that breadcrumb, body text, logo search, top nav, everything works in Touch UI. So if I open that in Touch UI,
Maybe if you add those security dialog for touch with it.
But yeah, we would need to change. So our GitHub, I'm imagining that we'll
You will have
keep.
to point to different components.
Yeah, we'll have to start extending it. So we'll end up with one template for 6.1 and then maybe one for as we go forward.
Okay.
any more questions?
I was just going to ask: are you running Grunt via a Maven plugin?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's an open source plugin in GitHub. I forgot the name. The email ID is there. I think this PPT would be shared. So if you want to know, I can share that plugin name with you.
So I think our ideal scenario is to somehow make a really, really tiny Maven build for the front end guys that would constantly be running when monitoring for changes.
Right.
And every time they make a change, it would do a quick redeploy of just that dist folder. That's the holy grail. We just haven't got around to that yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I think sounds achievable.
You are
Yeah,
planning
sure.
for hot deploy functionality as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you upload with a Vault tool the changed file?
That's why we're here, because I don't know, that might be the best option.
Vault is like it's an AEM tool you can deploy directly from your code base to AEM,
Yeah. The changed file.
and vice versa. If you can change anything in your AEM and you can pull it back to your local.
So that might be the option. That's one of the reasons why we're here, to sort of get ideas for how we might be able to improve this.
Another option, so I think I recently found an Eclipse plugin that does all the work for you pretty much similar way that you should download in C#, not C#, Visual Studio for .NET.
Okay, so there's a plugin for Eclipse
Yes.
that you can use to
Yeah.
scaffold
Yes.
AEM projects,
Yeah,
or
and you can connect to running server.
Mhm.
And you can
but
actually,
does it bring in your own code?
No.
So yeah, that's so,
yeah,
so
you
it's,
can
it's
do, well, pretty much, you can integrate with your Node.js script, and you can actually similar thing.
Yeah, when we stumbled upon Lazybones, it's present in ACS GitHub website. So that's just to scaffold with the default project structure with all the dependencies injected and all stuff. So we built on top of that. So whatever you're saying with the Eclipse tool, Lazybones, the default Lazybones from which we built, it's similar to that. So we get a default structure, but we wanted to have some codes, some functionalities with it. So yeah.
the other issue that we have, that I find, me coming from not being a truly AEM guy, is I find it really difficult to find information. So that tool that you found out about there, we probably researched this for a long time, wasn't it, to find that, and we only really found Lazybones. We didn't find any other, no other information, and I find that a lot with AEM, where I find maybe tiny little bits of information from places, but there's not too much sort of help in that regard.
I've got another one question, hopefully the last one.
That's all right.
So how is it to optimize your scaffolding? Say different front-end developers used to different structures, so keeping the CSS files in different locations. So how is it to optimize this with this tool?
So if I'm saying that you're just saying there's going to be a different structure for each.
For the
Yeah,
front end.
we don't work with this. I think this would be difficult.
May I answer
for
that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So the thing is, we targeted that we wanna customize this for our AEM front end guys. So that would be the structure that they are familiar to. So if any organization wants to make that change and deploy some default structure for which they are used to, that can also be done. They have to change it in some way, but that can be done.
It's not trivial.
One more thing we can do is, so we are also running a Node and Grunt.
Yeah.
So what we are doing in the Grunt, we write another kind of a code on it. So every time we change the code,
Yeah.
it will start create the directory, create the files,
Yes.
modify them and all those things.
Yes.
At the similar time, we have this word loop running with the new ID which Adobe has provided. I don't remember the name. Brackets.
Okay.
So what happened in the bracket? There's already functionality which is good for UI guys.
Okay.
It's more like Sublime text.
Yeah.
Not very similar, but it's similar. It's very easy for UI developers to guys.
Yeah.
So what you can do is running the grunt plugin, which automatically creates the repository, creates your actual code, and with the brackets running, it will automatically deploy your code to the AEM.
Right. Okay.
So
it sounds like this vault tool is a little piece of glue that we're missing, isn't it?
And in the ID,
Yeah.
the brackets is automatically by default there.
Yeah.
It's just you need to give the username, password, and the URL. It
Okay.
will deploy a code automatically. There's no human intervention. It's just do it.
Okay, so that's really cool because we were thinking of doing it the other way around. We were thinking of making a really small Maven build that only did the dist folder.
You don't
That's
require
probably
Maven or anything. It's just because you're running, if you guys will be running any node command prompt for all those modules.
Yeah.
So what it does is, as soon as you modify your file, that node plugin will start running.
We'll kick off, yeah.
And at the same time, the other plugin is already running, which see the file has been modified, pushes that into AEM. So
Cool.
it's all end-to-end.
If I'm not wrong, just correct me if I'm wrong, that brackets ID that you have said,
Yeah.
it's like, after AEM 6, with AEM Cycly and handlebars, it goes very well, right? And brackets is generally for like handlebar and stuff.
No, it's
Yeah, we can use it in everything,
yes.
but
when I
like
say
Eclipse and Java, brackets and
So
handlebars.
we're using cycles for us. It's
Yes.
very easy.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
At the
I
same
know.
time, if you guys is only see the JavaScript and CSS, there also we have at the same time with the JavaScript CSS, we have also made static HTML to support those JavaScript CSS.
Yes.
So don't have to worry about the HTML pages.
Yes.
But just open the HTML pages, static
Yes.
ones,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
they
I
just see the
understand.
JavaScript CSS. It doesn't worry about the AEM components or any of those
Yeah.
things. So at the same time, we have modified filter.xml. For them, they just only JavaScript and CSS get uploaded.
Okay, so in their
Not
local,
any
the
components.
filter.xml is different.
Yes, for them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to say something?
Yeah. So, I guess I've got a few comments. So, firstly, for those that use IntelliJ and not Eclipse, there's also an IntelliJ plugin that you can use. I was going to mention brackets since Ankit already mentioned it, so good. One question I did have for you, Tuhin, is about like one of the flexibilities of Lazybones as opposed to like a Maven archetype is actually the ability to ask questions when you're instantiating the project.
Yes.
Have you considered using that to support different modes for your front-end developers?
Yes. So the thing is, if anyone has used, I guess you guys have used that ACS Commons archetype Lazybones template. So it asks you lots of questions that do you want the config folders to be generated and everything. So yeah, we can do that, but since to achieve this till this far, to achieve this, we only needed this many of questions. So we have deleted those things, and yeah, that's definitely a good suggestion. We can definitely think in that way.
So one of the things that I use Lazybone, I found the challenge is that by default it gives only bundle and content
Yes.
as the module, but if I have to add another module, per se adding etc design or something, so I have to manually go into the Maven project and update the profiles and add those modules. So is it flexible enough to allow you to add with way of questions? Okay, if you want only just bundle content or you want any other module for your project?
I haven't ventured that, but the way Lazybone works, I mean, the
According
familiarity
to the
I have.
GitHub README,
Yeah.
yes, you can.
According to the GitHub README, or the way I have used Lazybones, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
'Cause
I guess so. But I'm not going to say that 100% because I haven't tried that. So it should be all. May I ask
Guys,
any questions?
Any other questions? Nice, one more round. Real quick, does anybody need another drink? Because we're going to go into the next one. Come in, great.